in the first goal.
Yeah, you want to talk about solid contact. Look at this shot from apparently Jack. A great setup from Joris out towards the box, coming back towards apparently Jack, away from the defenders. And apparently Jack can wind up and launch a missile into the net. Great play from Dignitas. A quick early goal is exactly what they need to continue to close out this series.
Oh no, Parka gets on the backside of that ball, and Panda gets the last laugh for the touch. This is kind of a botched clear attempt by the Woo. Island Panda in front again, who's kind of taken a front seat in this match and has had a few solid goals for Dignitas. Jorius, nothing for him, and Dignitas put back on defense.
I mean, you're seeing a couple times the Woo get a little panicked on defense, and they get bunched up, and then they start to feel like they have.
So much time for apparently Jack. Nobody's able to challenge him, and I was switching through all three players on Woo is because they're all sitting on 30 or less boosts.
That's what Dignitas will do to you. They've seen it a couple times here in this game, especially in game one. They just completely suffocate the Woo. And right now, that's why you're seeing Joris and apparently Jack just have a field day in the midfield. Oh my, Joris almost got back down to it. And apparently Jack will slam it home for the second.
Yeah, it goes in, but man, I thought Jorius had this. Oh, it was so close. Missed it by a couple pixels. Dignitas, again, solid control of the match. The Woo, the most I think you can really say about them is that they get a couple good pushes, and it looks like they're starting to figure it out. But it's so hard to keep control of midfield. That has been such a hard thing to grab for the Woo. They've just dumped the ball into midfield, and it's been so easy for, well, pick your player. Apparently Jack, Violent Panda, Jorius, all three of them have just kept the ball away. Nice back pass over to Violent Panda from Jorius.
Really, Jack finding Violent Panda some space to work with, and the Woo just not there to cut off those passing lanes. Parka tried to get by Jorius, but not enough. He has that boost to get back. Can he put it through? And Kisai will come through and turn it away. And no boost cost Jorius there, but that was the best he could have done.
And apparently Jack, it's actually probably better for him that that ball rolled back into the corner, because then he can just launch it back downfield. Dignitas, a team trebuchet right now. Jorius squaring up for another. Here's Forrest, able to flick over one. But again, the backboard is unavailable. Nothing for the Woo on offense. Nice cut from apparently Jack. One to beat. Drops it in front. Forces through on the challenge. And apparently Jack decimates the whole roster on his way to the net.
Well, apparently he's jacked, because he just goes through Kisai and then uses the flip to push it by. The muscles on this man for the third goal. Wonderfully done, and we didn't even talk about the first two touches to beat the first two men on the Woo. Apparently Jack going through the defense in spectacular fashion, and now a minute and a half left. Dignitas up by 3.
When apparently Jack first joined this team, the hype for Dignitas had been reignited, and they weren't posting the results that people were hoping for early on. But time is all they needed, apparently, to finally figure out the synergy. And how about apparently Jack's rise in the RLCS so quickly, just coming onto this Dignitas roster, such a quality roster for a player like him to be a part of. And look where it's gotten Dignitas. Obviously, yes, they're playing the Woo right now, but they have had quality win after quality win. 9 wins out of the last 10 matches. You don't do that. That's not luck. That's not, you know, a one-off. That's, right. You know, they figured it out. That's synergy, and that's what Dignitas do. But how about that demo from Parka to get a goal?
Yeah, that was a great demo. Finding that last man isolated and apparently Jack, and there's just nothing he can do here. He can try and dodge the demo, but that'll cost him the save. So he just has to go for the save. And that last man knows it. And apparently Jack just couldn't get up and away from that demolition. And still, plenty of cushion here for Dignitas with 40 seconds left.
Apparently Jack behind it again. There's just so much space. You can tell that the Wu are playing with fear, just with how they approach the ball. The second man is not in an advanced position, not in a position for a quick follow-up. It's always playing the loss. That's what their rotations have been. And the few times that they have played the advance, well, they haven't really earned that positioning, and then Dignitas punished them for it. So the Wu probably feeling like they can't do anything right now. They get that demo play that leads to a goal, but that's all they get. And Dignitas are playing like Dignitas, one game away from a sweep.
Yeah, and apparently Jack and Joris are just, we talked about before, they're just having a field day right now. They are just so much quicker than the defense of the Wu. They can get up. That game opened up with Joris getting 2 flip resets on the ball. First in the air, and then the ball bounces. He comes back to it for another flip reset. So, there's a lot of time and space for players like Joris and apparently Jack to do their thing. That is something that you cannot afford. You look at the stats,